Recording started. Recording started. Namshwaya, am I audible to all? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. A warm good afternoon to each and every one of you in the meeting. I am Dr. Tharani Devi from the Department of Food Science and Nutrition, Amrita School of Physical Sciences from Coimbatore campus. It's really a truly honor to be here today to discuss on a topic, the future of food, how science and nutrition are shaping what we eat. So actually, as we are navigating challenges such as climate change, food security, global health concerns, and all these things, the advancements in food science and technology, nutrition science, and sustainable practices are revolutionizing the way we produce and consume food. Currently, these innovations are paving the way for a smarter, healthier, and more sustainable food systems. So, we'll delve into the key trends, groundbreaking innovations, and the vital role each one of us play in shaping the future of food. Let's embark the journey together. Today, we'll be exploring the key driving forces shaping the future of food. So, as shown in this visual, three major factors influences how we produce, consume, and understand foods. They are the scientific advancements, sustainability concerns, and the deeper understanding of nutrition. Let's dive into each one by one. Food science is evolving rapidly, bringing breakthroughs in areas like lab grown meats, genetically modified crops, and alternative proteins. Similarly, innovations such as AI driven food production and precision fermentation are reshaping the industries as well. With growing concerns, awareness of environmental impacts, consumers and business people are focusing on sustainable food production currently. Say, for example, the practices like the regenerative agricultural practices, plant based diets, and reducing food waste are becoming more and more popular nowadays. Also, the advances in nutritional science are helping individuals make them healthier with more personalized diet choices. There's a growing trend towards functional foods, gut health awareness, and personalized nutrition based on genetics. So, as highlighted, we'll look into one by one. The first thing is how the nutrition is getting shaped towards personalized health and diet. So, as highlighted, there are three major areas of focus, and personalized nutrition is on the rise with diet plans tailored to individual health needs and genetics. Also, functional foods and nutraceuticals are gaining popularity with a focus on gut health and fermented foods. The shift from one size fits all dietary guidelines is now changed, and now it is to personalized diet perceptions. Plant based and flexitarian diets are expanding as more people look for healthier and sustainable options. For example, we are behind low sugar and low carbohydrate diets that influences product development very much as consumers are becoming more health concerns. The second thing is sustainability in food science. So here also the alternative protein sources such as plant-based lab-grown meats. I don't know whether you have heard about this lab-grown meats, and this is becoming a mainstream in recent advances with respect to nutrition. The upcycled food ingredients help reduce wastage by repurposing the surplus food waste into nutritious products, value-added products. The regenerative agricultural focuses on soil health, biodiversity, and reducing carbon footprints. Parallelly, water efficient vertical farming systems are revolutionizing how we grow in urban areas. Reducing food wastage is a key priority for both businesses and consumers. Technology also plays an important role here, where we will try to look into the 3D food printing, which is an emerging innovation that could change the way we prepare meals. So it is customized meals with desired texture and desired colors, where 3D food printing is evolving recently. Also, the AI and big data are enhancing food production, supply chain management, and personalized nutrition. So, as I said, this lab grown meat and alternative proteins offer new ways to meet the global food demands. Smart food packaging also helps reduce waste and improves food safety. So, the personalized nutrition, a growing trend in health and wellness that moves beyond the traditional dietary guidelines to focus on individual needs. This specific approach tailors diet plans based on individuals' DNA, their gut microbe metabolism, and health conditions to optimize the health outcomes. So, there are some key factors that influence the personalized nutrition as shown in this figure. We have genetics, we have microbiome, we have metabolism, we have dietary habits and food exercises, the phenotype and health conditions, social and environmental factors. So, understanding genetic predispositions to nutrient absorption and food sensitivities is very key factor. Similarly, understanding the gut microbe, which plays a significant role in digestion, metabolism, and immune function, also plays an important role in personalized nutrition. And we all know the metabolism differs from individual to individual. So, how the body processes and stores energy as an individual metabolism plays a role. The impact of daily food choices and physical activity levels also impact the nutrient needs, especially in terms of dietary habits and exercises. A few pre existing medical conditions, gender, and age influence the nutrition needs. Parallelly, the external environment involving the cultural food preferences, accessibility, availability, and the lifestyle, which influences our diet, plays a key role in influencing the personalized nutrition. So, this personalized nutrition term helps in managing the chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and obesity, enhancing the gut health and digestion, and improves the energy levels and the mental clarity. So we'll look into the later slides how this gut microbes enhances our mood swings and mental clarity. So this encourages long-term sustainable eating habits rather than restrictive diets. Personalized nutrition can also lead to higher energy levels, improved cognitive functions, better weight management, and overall enhanced health. By identifying the right balance of nutrients, individuals can prevent deficiencies and optimize their diet for long term well being. So, this personalized nutrition goes beyond genetics. We are also considering lifestyle, dietary preferences, and health history as well. It ensures that a diet is not only scientifically effective, but also practical and sustainable for long term use. So, where we could involve the diet based DNA and customization of our diets with respect to our own desires and need with customizing our diet plan. Here, let us see how the different diets impact the gut microbiota and overall health. Gut microbiome is a very important factor which influences our dietary habits, the metabolism of an individual. So we have different types of diet patterns followed at different cultures. So we go with high fat diet, red meat diet, high fiber diet, and high fermented diets also. What does this high fat diet does? High fat diet increases the firmicutes bacteria linked to inflammation. So it starts creating some inflammation in our system, producing the liposaccharides, which triggers the individual immune systems and responses, which ends up in chronic diseases. So this liposaccharides triggers the immune responses, ending up with chronic diseases. There are a lot of people consumes red meat. So what does red meat consumption ends up with? This red meat increases the enterobacteriaceae and reduces the beneficial bacteria in the system like Faecalibacterium. So in the individual body, we have both good bacteria and the bad bacteria. Whereas here, red meat reduces the beneficial bacteria or good bacteria. So whereby it produces an important component, what we call it as TMAO. It is nothing but trimethylamine N-oxide, which is a gut microbiota compound, which is linked to atherosclerosis. Atherosclerosis is nothing but the plaque built up in the arteries, what we otherwise called as arthroma. So it potentially increases heart diseases and inflammations. Coming to high fiber diet. Nowadays, we are behind high fiber diet for various reasons to prevent the chronic diseases like weight management or diabetes or the CVD cases. So this high fiber diet supports beneficial bacteria like Prevotella, Bifidobacterium, and Faecalibacterium. This whereby produces short chain fatty acids like acetate, propionate, and butyrate, which has anti-inflammation properties, improves digestion, and better metabolic health. Sometimes people are also behind high fermented food diet, which in where they get increased with microbiome diversity, improving the gut resilience, reducing the inflammatory signals and activities, benefiting the immune function. For example, we used to consume the probiotic foods like yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, and kefir, which has a good bacteria in it, which reduces the inflammatory signals and activity. Thereby, it prevents some chronic diseases. So, this is about how the diets play an important role in controlling the gut microbiota in overall health. Here we could see how DNA based nutrition help or create personalized diets. it is interesting to see that DNA also plays an important role in creating personalized diets. So we'll try to understand how DNA-based nutrition is helping out with personalizing the diets. The first step, they'll collect a DNA sample to analyze genetic variants. Then the identified genes related to nutrient absorption, metabolism, and disease risk is being done. Later, the identified gene is combined with the genetic data, with the phenotypic data and lifestyle information. And this data will help to build a comprehensive profile for personalized dietary recommendations. As I said you before, each individual have their own metabolism. It varies from individual to individual. For example, for some people, the process of fat or carbohydrates may be efficiently done. For some people, it is slower. For some people, it is not happening at all. Similarly, the absorption of vitamins and minerals. Genetic trait can affect how well the individual body can absorb nutrients like vitamin D, B12, and iron. And people also have food sensitivities like allergies, we call it as commonly allergies. So here also genetics plays an important role and can determine the intolerances with respect to lactose, gluten, caffeine, all these sensitivities. Hence, the implementation of this DNA or what we call it as nutrigenomics, the recent trend in personalized nutrition, what we call it as nutrigenomics, includes an adjusted metabolism for individuals based on their sensitivities and nutritional needs, focusing on the optimized energy levels, digestion, and overall health. So nutrigenomics, now we have introduced a new term and a new area called nutrigenomics. It's a field that explores how nutrients from the food we eat can influence gene expressions for individuals. It also helps to understand how diet plays a crucial role in determining an individual's health metabolism and susceptibility to diseases. Nutrient intake focuses on how consuming specific foods and nutrients can affect our body's functions. For example, omega 3 is rich in fish, and how this omega 3 from fish have been influencing the inflammation related genes. Similarly, the interaction of nutrients with the DNA at a molecular level influences how genes are turned on or turned off. And this on and off of this gene can impact metabolism, immunity, and the risk of chronic diseases. The diet we follow can modify the genetic pathways, leading to either positive or negative health outcomes. For example, a food rich in high antioxidant may activate genes that help in preventing cancers and determines how susceptible we are to conditions, especially in terms of diabetes or cardiovascular diseases or obesity or etc. So it moves away from one size, as I said before, it moves away from one size fits all diet and emphasizes personalized nutrition in preventing diseases rather than just treating them for long-term prevention of diseases. So this promotes targeted dietary recommendations based on individuals' genetic predispositions. Next, an important area which goes beyond basic nutrition and provides additional health benefits such as improved digestion or enhanced immunity, reduced risk of chronic diseases is nothing but the functional foods. Functional foods offer a wide range of health benefits beyond the basic nutrition. They contain the bioactive compounds like lycopene, vitamins, polyunsaturated fatty acids, etc., which decreases the oxidative stress and inflammation. As I said to you before, in animal-based food, we have omega-3 fatty acids in fish, which reduces inflammation, which supports heart health, and it also improves your cognitive function as brain health. Some probiotics support gut health and immunity, linked to the improvements in conditions like autism and depression. So, by incorporating these functional foods in our diet, can improve our health and potentially prevent chronic diseases. So, each and every food, whether it is a plant-based food or an animal-based food, they have their own functional compound in it, which has its own property to heal it. So, consumer trends and innovations has led to rise in demand of functional foods recently. Companies or industries are also innovating with new products to cater to health conscious consumers. Consumers are more health conscious nowadays. So, understanding how our body process and absorb nutrients helps us to make informed dietary choices for better health. So, several factors influences the bioavailability, including food consumptions, digestive enzymes, and gut health. So there are three-step process here. The first one is release of food. The foods are broken down and nutrients are released from the food during digestion. After the release of nutrients, the process depends on factors like texture, cooking methods, and digestive enzymes. Once released, these nutrients passes through the intestinal walls into the bloodstream. That is nutrient absorption into the bloodstream. Now, from that, the body uses the specialized transporters to absorb vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients efficiently. After entering into the bloodstream, now the nutrients are delivered to the cells for physiological functions such as energy production, immune support, and tissue repairs. So, cooking, blending, and fermentation can enhance or reduce the bioavailability of the nutrients. So, bioavailability is nothing but how far the nutrients are absorbed and transported to the cells to do its function. So, individual physiology like age, their own gut microbiota, and other personal health conditions influence the nutrient absorption. So, what we eat directly affects our mood. I said in the beginning, let us look into how diet plays a role in, or gut microbe plays a role in improving the brain functions. So, what we eat directly affects our mood, cognitive function, and emotional well being. The gut and brain communicate through a complex network called the gut brain axis. A healthy microbiome can positively influence the mental health, while an imbalanced gut can contribute to anxiety and depression. Essential nutrients like omega-3 fatty acids, B vitamins, and magnesium are crucial for the brain function. Deficiencies in these nutrients can lead to the mood disorders, fatigue, and cognitive decline. Chronic inflammation from processed foods, like those foods which are excess in sugar and unhealthy fat, is linked to depression and anxiety. So, anti inflammatory foods such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains support very good mental health and well-being. So apart from this, our diet also affects the neurotransmitters production, which regulates the mood and emotions. For example, foods rich in tryptophan can help produce serotonin. Serotonin is nothing but the happiness hormone. So diet also plays a role in secreting hormones. And a balanced diet rich in whole and processed foods support optimal brain function and emotional stability. So till now, we were looking into the perspective of how recent health health trends play a role in shaping nutrition. Via we have looked into concepts like personalized nutrition, nutrigenomics, functional foods, nutraceuticals, and gut-brain axis. The next concept is we'll dive into another concept on sustainability in food science. So, with a growing global population, ensuring food security while minimizing resource consumption is a key challenge. Scientists are working to improve food production efficiently while reducing environmental impact. So, these sustainable practices ensure that the food remains accessible, nutritious, and safe for the future generations. So, there are three key pillars for the sustainability and environmental health are the environmental health, economic vitality and social equity, and human health. So, sustainability is how far we'll reduce the wastage by adopting regenerative agricultural practices and using sustainable packaging materials, which can help the sustainability in food security. Sustainable food systems must be financially viable for farmers, definitely, and business people, and at the consumer levels also. Policies that support ethical labor practices and nutrition education play a role in food sustainability. So the strategies for sustainable food future includes using precision farming to optimize the resource use. We know what precision farming is and how they optimize the resources like water, soil, temperature, and everything. Encouraging plant-based diets to reduce the environmental strain. Yes, we agree that. Supporting local and organic food systems and reducing the wastage, the food waste through better distribution and consumer awareness. So, as we saw, with increasing concerns about sustainability, health, and ethics, plant based diet, especially the lab grown meats, are emerging as viable nowadays as alternatives to traditional animal products. As this technology advances, plant based, lab grown meats are becoming more widely and acceptable and available. There are few challenges that we face, which includes the scalability of the producers, the cost and acceptance consumers level. But still, the ongoing innovations is making these alternatives more and more appealing to the consumers. These lab grown meats are nothing but they are made from plant proteins like soy, pea, and wheat, uses extrusion and texturization methods to mimic the meat structure, texture, and taste. Also, they add some or include some bioreactors to grow the tissues or muscles, stimulating the natural meat texture, growing without animals. It's an interesting, right? Whether for an environmental reasons or personal health choices, these alternatives are surely shaping the future of food. which is aiming to reduce the land use, water consumption, and greenhouse gas emissions compared to traditional livestock farming. Generally, they have a lower carbon footprint, requiring fewer resources than conventional meat productions. The next important is genetic engineering in agriculture. So, genetically modified organisms and the CRISPR technology is nothing but clustered, regularly interspaced, short palindromic repeats with respect to the DNA modifications. These innovations have revolutionized the agricultural farming, helping to improve crop yields, which are more resistant to pests and nutritional value. We know that genetically modified organisms whose genetic material has been altered using genetic engineering benefits higher crop yields, pest and herbicide resistance with improved or enhanced nutritional value. The very common examples that you could see is the BT corn, which produces its own insecticide, self-reliant insecticides, which are harmless, and the soybeans, which are Roundup ready soybeans, which is more resistant to herbicides. I'll come up with few more examples of genetically modified organisms in next slides. Parallelly, the CRISPR technology, a new era of genetic modification, allows precise gene editing or modifying DNA at specific locations. So both GMO and CRISPR technologies are modified DNAs, but this CRISPR technologies allows it to edit or modify the gene at specific locations, at more targeted locations, faster and more cost effective.